Messi's return to down. So first goal from PSG. I want to point out the setup that Inter Miami have here. They're defending a free kick. They've decided to go with quite a high line over here. And PSG have kind of exploited that by putting two players intentionally offside while waiting on late runners. And this is what led them to scoring their first goal. Now, we know eventually that João Neves is the one that runs from the outside, gets himself into this pocket of space at the back post and scores. But I think Inter Miami got their setup right, but their prioritization wrong with man marking. So everyone in the front seems to be doing their job just well, but I think their last two players should have done some shuffling. So number 12 should have been on João Neves, and this means pulling the rest of the squad possibly down one player to this side of the pitch, because we already know these two players are offside, so they don't need to be marked as tight. So I'm not really sure why number 12 is going so tight on him. And it is this failure of prioritization which gets PSG their first goal, because we can see now Neves has already ran in completely unmarked in the back post. He was starting deep, so he's guaranteed onside. Number 32 is still having his hands all over the offside striker. So I don't know why he was doing that. He really should have been following Neves, and that's what gets PSG the goal. So it's a great finish. He puts it opposite of the keeper's momentum, so into the back post. But honestly, if he was a bit stretched out, he could have just laid it back, and these two PSG late runners would have tapped in as well. Next goal for PSG comes from a Miami mistake at the back. Miami have themselves set up as back four. That's pretty spaced out, I would say. They are trying to play out from the back, but I feel none of the midfield players are close enough to create the kind of triangles we're looking for in a typical build-up play. This triangle, I would say, is just way too big, especially trying to play against PSG's really fast and really aggressive high line. Defender tries to be clever. He eventually loses out. I feel the safest option would have just been to go back, because his centre-back should have and must have been calling for it. But the centre-back on the ball loses the ball, and now PSG have the advantage. It's 4 against Miami's 3 over here. Now, we let it play. We see the inside run from Neves and also the overlapping run from the other player who won the ball. And that lets PSG have a simple tap-in that Neves finishes off. So while that was a simple tap-in on paper, I hope you can appreciate the many runs and the little things that they did as a team that eventually got them the easy goal. Third goal is one which they build up from the right. Ball goes out to Hakimi over here, and we see the inside run from Doué. He gets himself in between both players, and he does the right thing of getting the ball crossed in early. In my opinion, this defender should have been a lot tighter to Doué to try to block off the cross, in which they could have tried to get a 2-on-1 on the outside to try to win the ball back, but he's not close enough. He has himself set up in the correct position to block the cross, yes, but it's not enough, and they end up scoring from an own goal. Next goal is eerily similar, because PSG also scored this from the right side, from the midfield. Now, as the ball is played in, there are aspects from the previous 3 goals that kind of show how PSG exploited Miami's weaknesses. The first one would be the inattention of the left back towards the right winger. I know they're trying to play kind of high and they're trying to catch them offside, but you don't do this against the European champions from this year. So this is what gets Jordi Alba caught up. He tries to do the last second offside trap, but it's completely taken him out of the game. Second thing, the exploitation of the right wing. PSG are quick and fast. Miami were not on that side, so they've just exploited the space. Doué is on here, he's 1-on-1. And the third thing I want to point out is PSG's extreme aggression when they attack. In this scene alone, they have 3, 4, 5, 6 players against Miami's 5. And Doué has so many available options for him to either score a goal, which he can do by finishing into the back post here. He can put it into the back post to 2 on-running PSG attackers, or he can cut it back here or here. I think he hears the shout from Hakimi. Hakimi puts it on the bar and it comes back to him. I want to say that Hakimi does well to pounce on the second ball as it comes back to him, because had the Miami players been a little bit more alert, they might have been able to get a toe poke or try to clear it away in that moment. I want to break down now a last chance for Miami. late on in the game. We see Messi leading the charge. He's driving into space. He's also in that half space between PSG's back four and their midfield. The difference that I'm seeing is that as Miami are attacking, PSG players are also running back hard. These three are dropping back to help out fast. These four, look at them, they are compact and narrow because their main threat is in the middle. Messi is also in the middle. They don't mind leaving gaps on both wings for their on-running help from the midfielders. And this is what happens. Messi drives in, and you can see how quickly they step up on Messi to force him wide, which he does. All right, Messi does one darting run, which eventually stops. This ball takes a ricochet off a defender, and it comes back to Miami. By the time PSG have regrouped, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against Miami's 4 in a very composed situation. Miami try to build it up. He plays it back. He tries to look in. Messi finds himself into that triangle in that kind of like a deep half space to try to link up play. Again, it's kind of only him that's doing the link up because I don't think any other player from Miami has the capability to try to build up in that sort of way. Only Messi knows. Anyway, it goes back out to the wing. This is a good third run from their fullback who clips it behind, and Messi heads it for goal. But you're not really going to score from there with that kind of ball played in. It's very hard to generate that kind of power from that far out, but he does his best to force a save from Donnarumma, and that's how it ends up. So PSG crush into Miami 4-0 and get on to the quarterfinals.